What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Wingers and Defenders. Back again with a UCL Final Champions League final preview. Joined today, of course, again, Toby.
What it do?
Good. Yeah, but we're coming back to you with another video. Champions League final coming up in a few days. Man City versus Chelsea. Big all English final. We really want to just see, we're looking for a really good game. I think it's going to be really fun to watch. And before we get started, make sure you guys like and subscribe. We're going to keep pumping out new videos for you, so hopefully you guys enjoy them. But getting on to the game now, Man City versus Chelsea. I think it's going to be a fun game to watch for sure. Both of these teams have performed really well in Europe, and Man City won a league in England, so they're probably the favorites going into it, I would think. Pep still chasing that Champions League trophy for Manchester City. So we'll start off. Toby, how do you feel going into the game? What does Chelsea need to do to win?
As a Chelsea fan, I'm nervous, obviously. It's even crazier because Guardiola came out saying, I'm confident. I know we're going to win. What's his name? Tuchel just came out and said, we're definitely going to win, surely. One of them is going to get memed big time. I can see it. But for me, it's like we've lost our last 3 games. We haven't been playing well. There's been a real mentality issue. But we do have Kanté back. We do have Mini back. The only thing that I'm saying that can be our saving grace is the fact that it's a one-off game. We've beaten them before. And it's like, honestly, anything can happen. In 2012, we beat Bayern Munich when we were grossly we were seriously underdogs. Mm-hmm. And we somehow won because we just wanted it more that day. And that's just how football is. I just got to hope that we win. But, I'm not getting my hopes up. It's Pep. It's prime Man City. This team has been elite. If I was a betting man, I'd put money on them. But you said, what do we have to do to win? We just got to hope that we can penetrate the high line, which is the only thing Vern is good for. Everything else is just terrible. We got to just defend like our lives depend on it, which we've done before. We got to, and in a way, we just got to hope that they're not on it. It's just about that. We just have to be better on the day. We just have to want it more. Like, if they can score a goal and we drop our heads, it's over for us. So we just got to want it more.
Yeah, I agree. Joe, what do you think?
So I think a big aspect is if Mendy is going to be able to play. I think he's been hurt a little bit recently.
I think he's good.
If he's, because I rate Mendy, I think he's a good keeper, and I think he's going to be a big aspect of it because you're going to need like a check performance against Bayern again, where he just goes crazy. Because we know that the way both these teams play, Chelsea's more defensive under Tuchel, while Man City's going to try to dominate possession. If Chelsea can have good counterattacks, they'll be in the clear. I think Tuchel's going to out-steam Pep here. I think Pep might overthink it like he normally does in big European games. I mean, you guys know I have an agenda against Pep. I wrongly said it was gonna be bad this season. I thought after that loss to Lyon last season in the UCL.
Yeah, that was bad.
I thought that team was gonna kind of collapse, and they didn't. But I just don't. I have to stick with my guns here. I'm not a man who goes back on his word. I said I don't think Man City's gonna win a UCL under Pep, and I'm gonna stick with that. I think that Tuchel's gonna outclass him here. I mean, I look at how Chelsea did against Atletico. Atletico at the time was on a tear, and they just made Atletico look like little children. And I don't know if he's gonna make that. I don't know if Tuchel's gonna make that happen against Pep, but I think there's a chance that he can stymie that offense. And again, if it's a counterattack game, I think maybe Timo Werner gets a goal. Much as I hate him.
Yeah,
I would pay money to see Timo Werner score in the Champions League final. Such a terrible player in such a big moment. That would be amazing.
Yeah, but I think Joe has a point there because I think Timo is going to offer you chances instead of like goal scoring opportunity. I mean, goals can come from him, but he's going to be more of a threat running behind defenders because he's really quick, really fast. He'll be causing problems for Ruben Diaz and Kyle Walker and whoever else, Stones, from running, not really shooting, because which is kind of ironic that he should be like the striker or main guy scoring goals. But I think he'll be a guy that's gonna like run in behind defense and off of the counter. Like Joe said, anything can happen, off a counter. So I think we also said too, Toby. They have to come out strong, Chelsea, and try to punch first, land at first hit, because I think if they wait too long, let City get comfortable in the flow of the game, especially if Pep sets his team up well and doesn't overthink it and has just a routine, really strong side, it could get ugly for Chelsea. I'm talking about, 2-0, 3-0 by halftime, ugly, if Chelsea isn't careful. Now, I think Tuchel has a defensive, tactics, and, he has enough, Thiago Silva and those guys in the back to stop that from happening. But I think if he's not careful, and if that Chelsea defense is a little shaky, I think those guys up top, Foden, a lot of those guys, Gundogan, KDB, they're going to cause a lot of problems for Thiago Silva. And whoever's going to be, you think Zuma or Rudiger, it's going to be problems for them. So I think what you're going to have to go out with is like Chelsea, Bayern Munich, like you said, come out there and want it more and try to punch first. That's what I think personally. Do you have?
I hope we do that. I hope we do well. I don't have faith, but you feel me? I just gotta hope something positive is gonna happen. Yeah, we're gonna need God that night. It's in God's hands, just like Ronaldo said.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at Chelsea's last couple of results too, it hasn't been the best. I mean, lost to Leicester in the FA Cup final.
It's bad.
That was a VAR decision, like inches away from equalizing.
We're gonna score a VAR own goal this weekend. I can feel it. I can already feel it.
That would be funny to watch. I think as a neutral, that would be hilarious. But and then, did you win on the final day? I mean, you were almost in the fifth.
Lost.
We lost.
They needed us.
We lost.
Yeah, it took Spurs to get you guys Champions League football guaranteed again, which
terrible.
Thank you, Spurs. Again,
shout out to Spurs, man.
Yeah.
You look at
dirty work. No, but I want to say something. I think Pep in one-off games is a little suspect. I really do. I think he's going to overthink it somehow. He has a clear from that 4-3-3 with De Bruyne as the false nine, but I think he's going to overthink it or do something weird. I really do.
But if we're going to talk about Pep's history, we got to acknowledge the fact that this man has been in 14 finals, not including this next one, and he's won 13. He's only lost one final. That's scary. That's actually scary to think about. Yeah, he fumbled some semifinals, but this man, he's probably the greatest of all time when it comes to finals. So if we win, it's gonna be a 1 in 100 chance, because playing against a Pep team in the final, genuinely your chances go extremely down, no matter which team you are. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we have to be at our best. It's not gonna be about Pep. It's gonna be about us. We gotta have to play well. We're not gonna get lucky.
Oh man, I saw that Carabao Cup and I saw a lot of chances for us to win that game too. We just weren't.
What, the Carabao Cup?
Yeah, I thought we had a good chance to win that, but we just didn't. We just didn't take our chances.
Hey man, the universe did not want Ryan Mason to win a game in these first two. He did not win a cup in these first 2 games, bro. It would have been a glitch in the simulation.
Imagine that would have been sick, but we're not talking about that right now. But overall, I think I will say this: if Tuchel doesn't win, I feel like we do have to start talking about Tuchel in finals. What the hell's going on? Because he would have lost 3 in a row and 3.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, but I feel like I don't want to get into Tuchel too much, because at PSG he faced Bayern in the final. I get it. Even today, even on Saturday, it's gonna be against Man City, but it's like, yeah, that Leicester one, I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to put that on Tuchel. I have to put it on the players. We just didn't turn up. There was nothing wrong with the team selection. There's nothing wrong with the tactics. Just the players just didn't try. And honestly, the Leicester players just wanted it more. Even yesterday with the Europa League final, I don't think there was anything wrong with the Man U team. Villarreal just wanted it from minute one. And that's just it. Sometimes finals is literally just about who's more determined, who's hungrier for. Obviously, Villarreal, this is their first ever title. They want it. Maybe City are going to be like that because this is their first ever final. Maybe we're going to be like it because, we haven't been in Champions League in a while. We haven't been this far in a while. It just depends on who's there on the day. But I feel like Tuchel and Pep are amazing managers. I really can't put it on any of them if there's a loss, unless Pep plays some weird 3-5-8 formation or something like that. Unless he does something diabolical that would give us a huge advantage. But yeah, it's all about the players this weekend, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that you both raised good points. I think it really, I think personally, he won't overthink this final. He's going to put out his best possible
Hopefully.
lineup in the best formation. I
Oh.
think Leon, that he did with Leon was a very weird thing that he did. I think he learned from that personally. Because you said in finals, he doesn't lose very often at all. So if you're a Chelsea supporter, you have to think about that going into the game. And I guess we'll go on to the next question, which I want to pose to you guys. What is the area of the pitch, whether it's a player or a certain position or grouping of players, is Chelsea need to have a good game in to like win? Because I know.
If I go first here? You cool if I go first here? Because I think
Conte.
I think Conte has to go crazy. Personally, like I think we saw how he looked against Real Madrid, where he won man of the match both times. If he could take away passes and do what he does best, I think that increases the Chelsea chance a lot. Because again, I think that Chelsea's going to be a lot more defensive in this game. And I think that's where we could see Conte thrive if he could just get into lanes and just break up passes and just be disruptive and a nuisance to that City buildup.
Yeah,
that's a good take. Yeah, okay, you know what? Yeah, I agree, because if there's one man that can nullify more than two players, it is him. So yeah, if we can have Conte shutting down Mahrez, actually Mahrez would be more for the wingers. If we can have Conte shutting down some of the central players, Kevin De Bruyne, Gundogan, Foden. If Conte can do that, then that greatly kills off their creativity. It's going to be a big game for our wingbacks because they have Mahrez, because they have Sterling. Like, I know Sterling has not a good season, but I'm not going to discredit any player. It's a final. You never know what's going to happen. Bernardo Silva, everybody. It has to be a good defensive performance. Simply put, if we score one goal and we just sit back, then that's it. We just need to make sure that we don't concede a goal. I feel like once we concede a goal, it's over. Genuinely speaking, because their defense is so good and our attacking is bad. So if we can just keep things calm in the defensive side, then yeah. So I think it's a big game for the defensive side, including Conte, because he will be putting in a big shift.
Yeah, I think you both raised a good point, because he bossed the midfield against Toni Kroos and Luka Modric, world-class midfielders. You have to do it again against Gundogan and KDB. So we're asking a lot from Conte, and whoever's partner is going to be, whether it's Jorginho, who I don't love, but it may be him.
Welcome to the club, man.
Yeah, so like there's a lot that can happen. I think Chelsea, the midfield battle is going to be big, because that's what I think it's defense personally. I think if you can stymie like the City attack, I mean Conte and people in front of the defense definitely be the front line, but if Thiago Silva and Rudiger have a big game, or Azpilicueta or whoever else, Chilwell, can stay organized and really like shut down Man City in the first half, it can set the tone for the second half to get a counterattacking goal. I think it's going to start from the back personally.
Yeah, let's hope for the best. Like I said, it's in God's hands, so we'll see, man. We'll see.
First 45 minutes are really important, because if City gets on you and gets a goal or two in the first 45 minutes, I think it's over. But if you guys could hold out for 45 minutes, I think Chelsea has a good chance to take one back and bring the Champions League trophy back to Stamford Bridge.
Yeah, it's Champions League juju. Sometimes not the biggest teams. You look at Liverpool 2005, us 2012. Sometimes it's not about being the best team on the day. It's the best team on paper. It's just about being the best team on the day. Simple as that.
Yeah, and I think you raise a good point. Chelsea could be very hungry after their performances in the last few weeks. Tuchel may want to light a fire under them and tell them to go out there and put everything on the field, because if they lose this game, this puts their perspective way in a really bad spot in comparison to it was 2 weeks ago when they were in the final, in guaranteed top four almost. And it was like, wow, this is a great season for us. And now you could be losing two finals almost out of top four in the span of a week and a half. So I think
that will literally shatter the players. I was watching All or Nothing by Spurs, and during the next season where they capitulated and Pochettino ended up in 14th, a lot of the players did say that loss in the Champions League final didn't get out their system. Now imagine two finals and a loss on the last day. Like, what's gonna happen next season? The players aren't just going to forget about that. So yeah, this could have very long-term ramifications. So seriously, I'm not being melodramatic. Like, they have to win for their own sanity, just so next season we don't, like, going into the next season as European champions. I mean, yeah, it could also boost their ego, but it's like, imagine how insecure they're going to be losing all these matches. This is City's first final, Champions League final. They're gonna lose some sleep losing over it. But bro, City are gonna be back. Look at them. Look at the money they have. They're gonna get Kane probably. So yeah, we need a win. I genuinely mean that we have to win. We have to.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be big. I think that Chelsea definitely needs to come out and want to perform at a high level. And I think you have a good point with Spurs. I mean, a lot of times teams are gonna get down on themselves. I think Hudson-Odoi, some Chelsea players after the FA Cup final were broken after that game, especially how close.
Yeah.
Ben Chilwell literally had that equalizer right there. It was taken away from them. It was they were gutted after that game. So a loss here, especially with how much money they spent. I know we talk about City and money spent, but like how much Chelsea has spent over the last summer or so.
Got to put in question. Got to put in question. 100%.
Bringing all those players, you kind of need to perform here. So we'll get into score predictions, how I think the game's going to go. We'll start off with you, Toby. How do you think the game's going to go, and what do you think the score prediction will be?
I have to back my team. I really have to back my team. I could see something like 3-2, but at the same time, both teams, you're looking at the two best defensive teams in world football this season. So I don't think it's going to be a score fest. My prediction, and this is a bit of fantasy, but my prediction still, because I could still see this happening. City score, we fight for our lives, we equalize, and then we get a winner towards the last couple minutes. And if I have to pick a game winner, I'm going to go with the most unlikely source because this is the Champions League and that kind of stuff happens. I'm going to say match winner by Christensen. He's never scored for us in his life. He's been with us for like 10 years and he's never ever scored. If he scores, it would be, imagine like saving your first ever goal for the Champions League final. I'd be so happy. But yeah, I think just 2-1. And obviously I got to hope. Unpopular opinion, I know, because everybody feels like Chelsea. I don't feel we're going to win, but I have to back my team. So yeah, 2-1 Chelsea.
Yeah. Joe?
I'm going to go 1-0 Chelsea. I think they're going to get the win.
Wow.
I think they're going to stymie City. I think City's going to capitulate after the 45 minutes. They're going to start getting a little panicky. And I don't think Chelsea's going to have a situation where Sissoko doesn't mark a man. I think Chelsea's better than that. And I think they'll get a match winner in maybe the 77th minute. I don't know who, but they're going to get a match winner in the 77th minute.
They don't.
It's got Werner written all over it. I don't know why. It just has
does.
Werner.
It does.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't make sense, but it feels like after all this season, he'll just masterclass performance or some sort of brace or something. If it's 2-1, he'll score both goals, something like that, something crazy.
Or what about playoff Pulisic?
Pulisic scoring in the final would be amazing, bro. I would be so happy.
Yeah,
I would be so happy for it, man.
Yeah.
Oh my word, I would be. Or Mounts.
Yeah, I'm a Mount stan, so.
Mount's already a legend for us, man. Like genuinely, and he's gonna be our captain. I feel like this has to be for somebody else, but I really don't care who scores. Jorginho. I don't like Jorginho. I do not like Jorginho, but even if he scores, I do not care. As long a goal is a goal in a final, and I don't care. I'll take whoever scores.
Jorginho scoring would be good for my Italian prop, so I wouldn't be against that.
Yeah,
it would be bad for my humanity prop, but yeah. What were you saying, Jake?
Yeah, I think you don't have a Sissoko. I'm not going to play. We do have a Jorginho in the middle of the pitch that could, like against Arsenal, pass backwards to the keeper with an open net.
Like against Aston Villa, like against Leicester, he messed up in all the games. Like, he's not in good form in the last couple games.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what he does. I'm going to be real with you. I think it's just a City win. I think all Pep has to do is put out the right lineup and the right formation, whatever he's been doing, and just roll with that. And his team just needs to keep putting pressure on Chelsea, and eventually they're going to capitulate. I don't know if it might be slow to start off. I think, like you said, they're both like top defenses in Europe for sure. So it's going to be maybe a slower paced game than City would want it to be. And Chelsea are going to want to get on the counterattack. And Chelsea are going to probably press high, I would think, because I know Pep likes to play from the back. and I know Werner, Pulisic, whoever else up top's going to pounce on those chances. Ederson gives away one. I'm thinking 3-1 City. I think if the first half is slow, it might just be a really, really feel out half, and you can see Chelsea kind of like defend for their lives and try to counter. But second half, if it's still 0-0 or if it's like 1-0 to City, they're gonna try to put it away. I think Chelsea will nab a goal somehow, whether through Werner or unlikely source like a Conte, somebody like that scoring that goal. But I think personally, we're gonna see City going up relatively like early in the second half and on cruise control and getting that insurance goal at the end and 3-1. That's what I think personally. As long as Pep doesn't do something crazy where he plays 5 CDMs in the back or something crazy where he plays like 2 in the back. If he doesn't do that, I think Pep is pretty secure. It's up to his team just to perform, which they've been doing consistently. So I say 3-1 City, personally.
Lord forbid, but yeah, good prediction.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I think Chelsea, it's not as lopsided as people think. I think it is a one-off game, and Chelsea can do this. As an Arsenal fan, do I want to see it happen? Definitely not. I don't want to see it as an Arsenal fan. But I'll take City winning, and I can definitely see Chelsea nabbing a goal and getting in the heads of players. Maybe it goes to, like we saw yesterday, extra time. Maybe a winner in extra time could happen. So
I do not need that kind of pressure, especially not 11-10 in penalties. But yeah.
Oh yeah, the 11-10 penalties. David De Gea. Let's just forget about that. Rash, Adamola. Prayers. But anyways,
prayers in his absence.
Yeah, his absence. Yeah, but that should be all for us today. Look forward to watching the game. A couple days should be a really fun watch. Thank you guys for watching, listening, tuning in. We're gonna try to pump out some more videos for you guys. So we appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Yeah. Peace.